Hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now today's video is going to be a selection of highlight clips from the past couple of days, and oh my gosh, what a crazy couple of days it has been in Call of the Wild. I have had some pretty crazy experiences and I'm looking forward to sharing them with you guys. Now, to start off with, we are on Vahongra Savannah, and you can see there, I just spotted a level 5 wildebeest. Now, I spotted this guy on my own map whilst actually grinding for lions. This lake is actually quite good for lions, and yeah, this guy was just chilling, and he was obviously fleeing. I must have spooked him sort of from this top end of the lake as I came from the outpost, but he actually stopped and was in sight. And I have shot a lot of diamond wildebeest, so I wasn't particularly worried if I did mess it up. So I just took a very quick shot there with the M1, and it actually landed true and took him down very, very quickly. And actually, he was a bighorns diamond wildebeest, I noticed as I walked over to him, which is always really nice. The bighorns wildebeest look really awesome compared to the small horns ones, and he will actually replace, I think, the one small horns common that I actually had in the lodge. And yeah, a really nice 39 scoring diamond wildebeest just to start everything off. But yeah, it's about to get a lot more crazy, both on Vahongra and on Yukon Valley as we move on through the video. And yeah, that shot was a little bit far back, but plenty well into the lung and liver to actually get the full score. So I decided to go into some multiplayers, mainly looking for rare lions. As you may have remembered from previous videos, I am currently looking for an albino lion. So I've been grinding on my own map and going into multiplayer looking for rare males and females, because I'm trying to put together the Cape Buffalo and Lion multi-mount with my max weight, max score diamond Cape Buffalo. And yeah, I really would like at least one more rare female to go in that mount, and then I'll have a rare male and 2 rare females for it. So I've been looking for those, but this lake here I always check because it is a really good spot for Jackal. And I spotted that one female and I thought, that looks quite dark. I think that's a Melanistic. And as I was walking over to it here, I thought, wait, so does that one on the other side of the pack? Is that 2 Melanistics together? And sure enough, putting the scope on them, that is 2 Melanistic female jackals in the same pack. This is probably one of the rarest things I've ever encountered in this game, because rare jackal are rare. I have only shot 2 Melanistic jackal in the whole time I've played this game, and yeah, I could not believe it. But they were both females. I wasn't particularly worried about getting perfect shots. I just wanted to try and get them both down fairly quickly. So I took that shot at the one, and then I decided to try and get the other one while it was fleeing. I misjudged. I thought she was going to go forwards there, and she actually sort of turned around and fled in the other direction. But jackals flee incredibly slowly, and I knew that she should stop somewhere where I'd be able to get any kind of shot. Like I said, not particularly worried about getting a perfect shot, it is just a female. And I do have a male melanistic one in the lodge already. But these things are not common, I must stress that. It's not like piebald mule deer where they're a little bit more common. Melanistic jackal are very rare. There's a lot of people that I know that have never seen a melanistic jackal. And to see 2 together, I just couldn't believe it. Now, again, I misjudged that shot a little bit, and I led it just a little bit too much, and the shot was, in the end, just a little touch too low. In this clip, it actually looks like it was going to be a good shot, but unfortunately she didn't quite walk into the shot as much as I was expecting her to. But it was enough to actually bring her down. And I knew that she was going to go down because she was running hard, and when animals run hard like that, they do tend to go down. But she barely went any distance because, again, jackals run very, very slowly. But, as you can see, this is her. So that is the first melanistic female jackal from that pack. But you can see just a touch too low. And if it just been a little bit higher, it would have been okay. It was just sort of at the angle and everything, but I don't really mind because, like I said, it is just a female. It would have just been silver, so really not bothered about that at all. It is more about getting the rare fur on the ground for that one. As I said, I do have a male already in the lodge, but these guys are rare. It's like, you do tax them, you don't see them a whole lot. So, yeah. I do apologise for the frame rate dip there as well. Unfortunately, that is something that is happening on a lot of maps at the moment. But this first one I did actually hit pretty well, and I actually made a good choice on shooting her pretty well because she was actually the bigger one of the two. So yeah, I shot the right one with the sort of better shot. But yeah, two melanistic female jackal from the same pack. One of the craziest things I've ever seen in this game. Like, just incredibly rare. Incredibly rare to see one of them and then see two of them together. Like, that's just insane. I was so lucky. Now, moving on to the Yukon Valley portion of this video, there is so much story to tell along with this part of the video, so I'm just going to let you guys see what I'm going for here, and then I will explain to you the whole saga around what has actually happened. So you can see I'm spotting around, and I spot a legendary grizzly bear. That is one of the last 3 diamonds I need to shoot in this game in order to have shot a diamond of every species across both Xbox and PC. And it is just an achievement I really want to do. I want to make sure, you know, to have every diamond in the game, to have shot one of each would be pretty cool. And Grizzly Bear was on that list. So I've been going into Yukon Valley multiplayer sessions looking for a diamond grizzly, or a rare harlequin duck if I could get one. And I actually found an albino male harlequin duck in a multiplayer server. So I went over to it and made a shot, and unfortunately the shot missed. And it was also the end of their zone time, and the duck took off without it actually going defensive. It was just at the alarmed stage. They don't normally actually take off the water until they've gone defensive, but it was just right at the end of their zone time, so it coincided and it took off and left. And despite me basically flinging shots at it until it went out of render, I couldn't get it. The host very kindly changed the time, but unfortunately, even though I saw the rest of the flock came back, that one albino did not. So I figured I'd try and stay in the same session for a little bit, see if the host left, and then maybe I could play around with the time and see if I could get him to come back. In that time, someone came to this same area that I'm in right now on my own map and shot a diamond grizzly bear. And I was like, oh my gosh, did I miss a legendary grizzly bear because I was so focused on trying to get this albino duck? And in the end, they said, you know, that they'd been looking for one forever, and it was really cool that they actually got it, and I'm really pleased for them. But at the same time, I was like, God dang it, why did I miss that bear? Where was it? Because I thought I'd look pretty well, because that's what I'm looking for, and they're not exactly small animals, but I guess he was just tucked away in some brush, and it just was out of my sight. And after that I felt pretty crummy, because I'd missed out on 2 trophies that I specifically wanted to get, one because I missed the shot, which kind of made me feel really bad, and then one because I guess I just didn't look in the right place. So I decided I was going to go in single player and do some grizzly bear grinding, because I figured that if I, you know, really wanted one, and this kind of gave me the spur of I really want to get a diamond grizzly bear, that I would go in single player and start grinding. And I had been to this area on my single player map and shot a couple of bears not that long ago, and I never saw this guy. And when I actually spotted him, you will have seen I actually got the zone from him. So where he was hiding the last time I was here, I don't know. But the fact that I only came to my single player map again because of what had just happened, and then there was a legendary grizzly bear just stood there on my own map, was kind of ridiculous. And I was like, there's no way this is happening. And I was so scared that I was going to mess up the shot, or that it was going to troll, or just something that was just going to make this just so sad. So you may have noticed that the original clip I actually showed of me spotting him is at a slightly different lighting to where I am actually going into him now. That's because when I spotted him initially, I did stalk into where he was, but it was at the sort of towards the end of the zone time, and he had just walked off in the time that it had taken me to slowly crawl into where his zone was. So I reset the time, came straight back, and he was there. So I decided I would take my time, make sure I could get sort of a round to try and get a good shot on him. Unfortunately, because of the area he is in, there is a lot of brush, so I really needed to try and make sure that I could get an unobscured shot. Now, normally I would cut all of this out so that you guys only see me taking the shot, not actually doing the whole walking up to it process and then trying to line up for a shot. However, I decided purely because of how this went and how special of an animal this actually was for me, that I would include it all. And because I wanted to mention something else. I have had kind of a vendetta against Grizzly Bear for a little while, and that was because a few months ago now, on PC, I joined a multiplayer Yukon Valley server, and without me knowing, it was a hacked session. And I, in that session, found a legendary Grizzly Bear. And I was so excited because I'd never seen a legendary Grizzly Bear, and I shot it and it was a diamond, and I was so thrilled. And it was only afterwards that I posted the screenshots of like, hey guys, I got a diamond Grizzly. And people looked at it and they noticed that the weight didn't line up with the score, which I hadn't been paying attention to. I was just looking at the fact that it was a diamond back then. And once I realised what had actually happened and that the host must have done something to interfere with the animal scoring, I deleted it straight away from my trophy lodge. I was like, okay, no, that doesn't count. That's fake. I don't want that anywhere near my stuff. I'm so annoyed because I don't know why someone would hack something like that into this game, and then opening it to multiplayer so that unsuspecting people will come and shoot stuff. I just felt so angry about it, and it actually put me off playing like in multiplayer and stuff for a while. And ever since, I've kind of had this thing like with Grizzly Bears that would I ever actually find a legendary that, I knew was right and actually get a Diamond Grizzly Bear for real. Get my Diamond Grizzly. That's why this is going to have Diamond Grizzly Revenge in the title as well. Just because everything that's led up to getting this specific animal has been quite interesting. I don't think I've ever had quite the build up to getting a max level animal on the ground as I have with Grizzly Bear. And just seeing this legendary walking around on my own map, I just couldn't believe it. I wanted him to stand on his hind legs so I could try and get a heart shot, but I decided that shot there looked good enough to me. I was quite close. I trust the 300 on something like a Grizzly Bear, so I lined it up and I took the shot. And then the tension of waiting to see if he would drop because I couldn't actually spot him. And I was like, please, please let that have been a good shot. I felt like it was good, and I was just so excited to go and see if it had all worked out. Just seeing him on the ground, I was so excited and crossing all my fingers that he would make it. And as I picked him up, he made diamond. 67 scoring, diamond, legendary Grizzly Bear, down. And oh my gosh, the relief to actually finally have one for real, and just everything, like I said, everything that led up to this made it so much more special. I am so happy to actually finally have one of these guys. I cannot believe it. They're notoriously quite a hard diamond to get, from what I've heard, that actually finding legendary Grizzly Bears is quite hard, and it would be I've only ever seen the one, and yeah, I could not believe it. I'm so happy. Just the way that all worked out was so insane. I went from being like really disappointed and kind of sad to absolutely elated within moments, basically, which is the roller coaster that this game can take you on. I'm just so happy, and I couldn't wait to actually share this with you guys today. And now moving on to yet another clip from Yukon Valley. Remember how that initial clip there with the Grizzly Bear all came about because of missing an albino duck? I found another one. Literally, I think the next day in multiplayer, I found another albino male harlequin, which was so lucky. And I was like, no way. No way am I going to actually end up with both of the animals that I basically missed out on from my own map and from a multiplayer. I couldn't believe it. And I was being so careful, like, using the map to, like, range this as well as the binoculars. I was so scared that I was going to miss this again. I hate shooting ducks off the water with the 22. I do it all the time, but I hate it, because when it's something like this where it really matters, it makes me so nervous because of incidences like I mentioned with the previous albino. But these guys look so gorgeous. They stick out like a sore thumb, and they're just so beautiful. And I managed to actually pop him with the 22. No problem about that. But just look at the sheer amount of harlequins here. It was awesome. Like, of course, one would turn up where there's so many harlequins. But you can see there, they're all defensive, the ones that are flying away. That's what I was talking about before. The initial one flew off without being defensive. So, yeah, it was very unfortunate. But this was very fortunate. And it just my chance at redemption, and it happened, and he was a little silver albino harlequin male. Now, it's a shame that he didn't make gold, however, it was what I wanted. It's the feathers, you know, you want to see the albino. It doesn't really matter too much about what it scores. It's not like it's got antlers or horns or something where you can really judge it. It's all about that beautiful feather, you know, the colour. It's just gorgeous. They're one of my favourite rares in the game because I think they look quite cute. I really like the harlequin ducks, so yeah, really happy to have that. And then earlier this evening, before actually editing this video, I found yet another albino male harlequin duck. And I actually missed this one off the water again, but managed to drop him with the 22 there from in the air. So I really can't be sad now about missing out on the initial one, because I now have not just one but two. Hopefully someone else found that other albino and got a really nice trophy out of that. But yeah, and this one made gold as well, so literally couldn't be happier. Two albino male harlequins for the lodge. And now for the final animal of this video. I came down here on Yukon Valley looking for red fox drinking actually, and I picked up a melanistic male grizzly bear track. Now, I knew that he was going to be unfortunately quite small because of that weight estimate, but it was a male rare grizzly bear, which is what I was specifically looking for to go in the bear hug multi-mount with the diamond that I had just shot. Now, it was at night, so you can see me there spotting him and then checking that that is the melanistic using the tracks. And now, I'm gonna say that this was a really poor shot. I completely misjudged the angle and how far he was actually away and the fact that he was walking, and I hit him far too far back and actually hit him in the intestines. However, again, it's a tiny rare. It's a level 3 male grizzly bear, which is, you know, almost laughably small for a grizzly bear male. However, it is a melanistic, and in the lodge that's going to look just as big as the diamond one, and it's just going to be awesome to have a melanistic fighting a diamond. So yeah, really cool to actually get a rare to go along with him, and now I just got to look for an albino one and hopefully maybe a bigger melanistic, but at least it wasn't a female. So yeah, really happy with that. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed seeing these pretty cool trophies from the past couple of days, and I will see you guys in the next video.